Hello and welcome to ghostgalknits episode 41. Yeah, F it. Okay, so, sorry I have not been around. This was supposed to go up last Wednesday, but my ADHD was on the rise, and it was just I actually didn't want to do anything last week except game, which is what I ended up doing. So, we're about a week late, but don't worry, we're still going to be on the bi-weekly schedule. You're just getting this one a little later, and with a few more items that I managed to get some work done over the weekend on. So, for people who have pattern binders, and for anyone who doesn't know, this is my pattern binder. And in here, I have this system. This lovely system. Make sure you put stuff in the right area. Because I thought this pattern here somehow got thrown away. But it's like, no, I know for a fact it's on the back of this one. It's like, where did I put it? And instead of putting it in section 2, which is scarves and cowls, I put it in section 3. Please do not ask me how I did that, but I did, and I spent a couple hours trying to find it. It's like, I know I have that pattern. Where is that pattern? Where? Where did I put it? That was basically my reaction. I did find it. I was actually really close to just printing off a fresh copy because I could not find it. Because both of these are free patterns. I actually have a ball of yarn I can do this with, but I have another pattern. Because apparently when I did this, I did not understand how to do granny shells at the time. Because I believe we use a granny shell. Yeah, because 3 double crochet, fit chain from the hook, skip next 2, chain 3 in the next, skip the... Yeah, it's a little confusing. So this pattern is easy. It's an easy pattern, but reading it is not an easy read. It is very, very, very confusing. So, it's a very confusing read. You read it and it's like, huh? What? Eh? Literally that. Okay. So, moral of the random story, make sure you put your patterns in the right sections so you can find them. And also, don't mess up the pattern as you're working on it. That will come into play later on a scarf I had. I'll explain that when I get to it. So, I got all the yarn I need for my winter projects in this bin, and then in another bin. One is going to house, one of the bins is just going to house that one project so it doesn't get mixed in with the unused stuff. I'm replanning my rainbow blanket right now. Instead of doing white, color, and so on, I think I'm going to do a rainbow block. So I'm going to do a rainbow block. I might not do granny shell. I might do granny shell. I might do V-stitch. I might do a V-stitch. I might do maybe a sampler. No, I think I'll save the sampler for a project down the line. I do want to do a sampler blanket. There is a pattern I want. I just don't want to pay $20 for it. Can you blame me? $20 for a pattern? That's like, what are you telling? $20? How many hours did you put into this pattern? Yeah, it's one of these days. You're getting a crazy reaction day. Anyway, so, or I might do... I'll work it out. Or I might just do single crochet or double crochet or half double crochet up and down rows. But I'm kind of leaning more towards the granny just because it's a square and I don't have to fiddle with numbers and all that. And then what else did I have on the... I am also not organized at all today, so because last night I was playing games. I got my crossplay set up for Destiny 2, so now I can go between, okay. So, I also have the Caron chunky scarf, which is, that cowl I had showed you. I had another pattern for it, which might get changed again, depending. I'm definitely doing a V-stitch with that scarf, though, which I probably will be starting here in the next couple of weeks. Because for my winter projects, I have the Caron Simply Soft Blanket, which you'll see later, Rainbow Blanket, and Caron Chunky Scarf. But wait, if you're wondering, I had to move some items around because I had given Mom a basket to use for her gnomes. I'm planning on getting her in the knitting club. Link down in the description if you wish to join. It's a completely free service. All I ask is you show us whatever you're working on. You're welcome to chat. We've got all sorts of awesome stuff in there. I also have my personal craft channel down there as well. Links also down there. Both are Discord, so if you don't have Discord, I highly suggest you make one. There's a lot of communities, a lot of craft communities on there. We do not do get-togethers just because everyone's in a different part of the world, work, and all that. So, without much further ado, let's move on. So, Mom's socks. Oh, me and those. I can get more yarn, that's not an issue. So, I tore them apart, and then I tried to work with what I had. As you can tell, it's a bit ramen noodle-esque. Yeah, when you can describe used yarn as ramen noodles. And it's like, I just couldn't work with that, so I went to just beyond the last bit here and cut off this. I might, if I need this for something down the line, I'll use it, but I doubt. Because I was reading the comments on the pattern, and they were saying you need 1.5 balls for each sock for the woman's size 7 to 8. So if I have to get more yarn, I can. That's not an issue. Ugh, my nose. Ugh. Sorry, it's gonna be a streamer nose, clogged up, driving me insane type day. So I'm kind of just rushing through this. Don't worry. Next podcast will be a little less rushed because it will be on the day it's supposed to be on. Hopefully. And I also don't have 3 morning papers to deal with the aftermath of. That was not the fun week for me. I had 3 morning papers, so I was dealing with the aftermath of that until last Wednesday. I still had the aftermath of it. So, yeah. Okay. Do you have to about Mom's socks, which I will get into more right now because we're at works in progress. Oh, I'm just going to finish the objects first. I did have finished objects. They were cat toys. They are no longer in my room. They are now either at my brother's house or upstairs where Cora can enjoy them. And she did enjoy it. Oh, one of them, she had the ear off within in maybe, I want to say 15 minutes on one of them. And she had the other ear and tail off in about, I want to say, 2 days. The body itself's still holding up, so I call that good. But boy, did she loved it. So, Mom socks. Is this the right ball? Yes. Now it's just a matter of making sure you grab the right ball. So, there we go. These, I'm gonna definitely be using my wool wash right here. This is Soak. It's literally, this is by far the best I have found. There are other wool washes that are in bars. I didn't want to deal with that right now just because I have I got some bigger projects planned. And it worked really well on my mom's cousin's hat. So, okay, let me just kind of do with this, kind of do with that, okay. So this is what I have so far on Mom's socks. Please pay no mind to the stitch markers galore. Because for these socks, you have to stitch mark like crazy. Your first stitch mark, the first stitch I marked is the first stitch of the round. So I know where that is, so I don't accidentally go into either one of the false stitches, because I have a slip stitch, because I have to slip stitch into the first stitch and then chain one, and then I can single crochet into the same spot I did the chain one and slip stitch. So I mark that so I know where it is. And then I have the middle of the turning chain, of the turning single crochets marked on each end. And those will come with me as I go. Because right now we're doing the toe increases. And this bit right here will end up on the bottom, hopefully. Well, at least it did when they were doing it right-handed. Since I'm left-handed, it's probably not going to end up on the bottom. It's probably going to end up on the top. Because if this was right-handed, this bit would be down here, and it would continue down here. But since I'm left-handed, it's going to continue up this way. So, nothing I can do about that. Unless I just want to restructure the heel and work out how to restructure that, which I don't want to. So, I am still mildly mad at the pattern. I have downloaded this pattern onto my tablet with my row counter, which I am paying for premium, and I'm so happy I am. Unlimited counters, which is awesome. And I have a highlighter. I can add little bits and pieces I need to remember. So I'm doing lady 7 to 8 from my mom, because that's the biggest these go up to in women's. I'm just a little mad at that. And for men's, it's only one size. And men's is a finished size of 11.5 inches. That's not going to fit my father. But I'm thinking, if I take fisherman's wool, which is a much thicker yarn than this, and do the men's sizes and do the men's stuff, I might get a sock that fits him. I might. But I would have to do But if I was going to do that, I would get some cheap yarn first, because fisherman's wool is $14 a ball. So it's a bit of an investment for making things. But I'm thinking that I'll get the equivalent of the yardage in a ball in the yarn weight to make a sock, to do a prototype sock for my dad. Because now that these are actually very easy socks, it's just single crochet in an oval. It is very easy. I don't know why they put it as intermediate. Maybe because you're using the small of a hook. So this hook size is a 3.25 millimeter. Yeah, it's a small hook. I think that's why they stick it as intermediate. But because I've been crocheting so long now, I've been going I've been crocheting 2-3 years now? I think. I would have to go looking back at Discords and other stuff, see if I can find where that was. But when I first started, I had a heck of a time because I bought a kit with this hook. I can use this hook. I don't like to, but I can use it. So then I bought a pack of 3 with this style head. This was not one of them. I went and bought this myself. Come on. With this style head, which I prefer, like, tenfold. So, yeah. I do prefer that tenfold. So, that was Mom Socks and the start of Works in Progress. Next is the hat I had been working on. So, this hat, I went around and did the single crochet, like it said. I still have to count to see if I have 70. In order to make this work, you have to have 70 single crochets to make the pattern work. If not, the pattern won't work very well. It will, but it won't work. So I will probably get around to counting, I want to say, in a couple of days. I just kind of wanted to single crochet last night and was like, you know what? I'm going to single crochet on this and get this worked on. So, I still have to start hats for the Hat Not Hate campaign that I'm doing this year. I'm going to do a pattern from Bag O Day where it's literally you just start in a circle and just increase and then you just work down. It's going to be a lot quicker than doing this. But you have to admit, this is a lot farther than last time. And it actually has some stretch to it. Thank God. Last time I tried to make this, no stretch. It was, it was interesting. Let's just put it that way. So this is work. So that's just one of those projects when I don't want to work on anything else. I just want something semi-mindless to work on. That's one of them. Let's see. Next is, headphones, wired controller from my computer. I was playing some PC games last night. And I also found out that if you enable crossplay for Destiny 2, if you have the DLC on one platform, it does not transfer to the other platform. Your characters do, but not your DLC. So, yeah, that's the thing. So that happened. So now I've also started using a budgeting app. I use YNAB, which is You Need a Budget, which I am so happy I did, because now I put everything in, all the stuff I want, stuff I have money to buy, but I just can't really put it on stuff at the moment. Because, yeah, I have the money in savings, but if I take it out of savings, that takes money out of going towards the car. So, yeah, it's a whole thing. But I did have a budget, but for years I just kept it in my head. Finally, it's like, this year, you know what? I need to put this dang budget on paper, or in this case, an app. And, oh, it's been a godsend. So, next works in progress is... So, I pulled this one out of my scrap bin. I have another project in there that's not supposed to be in there. And, upside down. If you're wondering, I still don't know how this keeps happening, but it does. But nothing that can't be blocked and washed out, so that's not an issue. So yeah, that can just be blocked and washed and it'll be fine. I have blocking mats. It'll be fine. And this is the sweet roll. This one is black pepper swirl, because you get about all those colors coming out of black pepper grinders. Next is okay, so I got a couple granny squares coming through. This one is, you've guys seen this yarn before. This is the Grape Fizz. And this is a granny square I started recently for the granny square blanket, which is, there we go. Okay, quick on this is, I am mad at myself right now because I did 2 of these. Don't get me wrong, I'm not. It's just I'm mad at myself that I did 2 of the same color before I made it through all my colors. That's why I'm mad. So, I'm thinking maybe this week, after I finish this one, I will start bordering these, because I'm getting so many of them so far that I'll start putting borders on them. And I might start stringing them together. Probably not. But I think I'm going to start bordering just to get... I'm going to start weaving ends in, bordering, so I can get this. So when I am ready to start putting stuff together, I can start putting stuff together. And I actually picked up 2 more balls of the border color. I was very lucky, because I thought I was going to have to pick a different brand and a relatively close color, but I found 2 more balls at Joann, so I grabbed them, and I have 3 balls altogether, which should be enough. Ugh, my nose. And if I have any left over, I'm going to add I'm just going to add on to the border. I'm just going to put on a single crochet border like I always do, or I might even go double crochet this time. I don't know yet. I'll work it out then. So this is getting worked on. I don't bother with stitch markers in these, because when I'm working these, they go very quickly. Next, oops. Okay. Okay. At least I was halfway smart. So this is another granny square blanket I am doing this year. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have one more row on this one to do, so I might get that done later. This is on a smaller hook, which is why it looks different from my other granny squares. And this is also Caron Simply Soft. This is the color. Ooh, what the heck? Don't ask me what happened here, but stuff happened. So yeah, I will worry about all this when I get to the end of the ball. Hopefully. Yeah. They can leave a message. Yeah, so some stuff happened. I'm actually making this for my best friend John. This is one of his projects he's getting this year at some point in time. Yeah, I did not see this before, so this must be some new damage. I mean, it could have been. No, not from the rubbing. I don't know what caused that, but stuff happened. Okay, we're gonna go with stuff happened on that one, and I have no clue what's going on with that ball. I will worry about it at the end. Next is, you guys have seen this pattern. You know what it is. You know which pattern this is. So this one, this I had to restart somewhere around 10 times because for some reason I was starting to get a triangle effect. I was like, okay. So I got it. I finally got it. She's going a little curvy here, but nothing too major. Nothing, again, that can't be blocked out and stretched out. This is also for John as well. This was originally on the loom. I was not enjoying that, and it was just too thick. So this time I'm doing this on an 8mm hook. I'm doing this on an 8mm hook with just my standard pattern, which is from Red Heart. I absolutely love this pattern. It's mindless for the most part until you have to pull back because you're doing double crochet instead of half double crochet. I've done it before. Whoops. And last but not least, my sweater. So, this has had a lot of growth on it. I'm just a smidge worried because, as you can tell, I've done the tush extension, which is not that long compared to the photos, but yeah. I've done armholes, and right now I am working on the ribbing, which I thinking I might need to do some pullback here because the ribbing down here is nice and even because I'm just going into the side, whereas up here it's a little elongated and a little crazy. So I'm thinking I'm going to pull back to where it gets a little less crazy and stick 2 in each hole for maximum, so I get the effect that I'm looking for, which is even, tight together. So I think I'll be pulling that back at some point, probably to right here ish area. Just because with how big the holes are and trying to get into the smaller hole next door is not as easy as one would think. So I think in the bigger parts I'll put 2. That way it'll at least look a little better. Because she did say try to get them as even as possible. So I'm going to try. And I think that's everything. So I will be back next week, and we'll be getting back to our normal bi-weekly update schedule, hopefully. So until next time, have a good life and happy crafting.